Brightest blessings. This is Raven, and today we're going to have a bit of a messy mix match. Let's get stuff done, because I have been working on this journal that I've used Natty and Moon Amethyst Witch digitals in, but I've also combined it with my Crystal Witch kit. So I haven't decorated inside yet. So this side is the Natty and Moon. This is my Crystal Witch kit. I've got some spaces that I need to cover with pockets and things. I've added some of my messy papers. Lots of blues and purples, as you can see. So I've done the majority of the journal itself. I still need to put corners on. I need to sort this label bit out. These are some fussy cut crystals that I had. I've just decorated the side, and I've got a lovely dangle here that my friend has sent me. So that's the basis of the journal, as you can see. Now I've left quite a big gap at the front and at the back. The front is slightly bigger because I do actually want to use this in here as well. I want to attach it to the front here. And this is a folio I made using my Crystal Witch kit ages and ages ago. That's relatively plain, and I'm going to add some of the Amethyst Witch and the Amethyst colour stories from Natty and Moon to sort of tie this in. So this is going to go in the front like this. So then when the journal is closed, you see we've still got that gap there. And then the idea is I can be adding into the pockets and things. That's an envelope there that I've just put in and collaged. Some of my stenciled papers, and here's another one where I need to find a pocket. So yeah, that's that for today. We're gonna work on some things to go in there. Now, bearing in mind I do already have all of this already made. These will be freebies on my Facebook page. I think this is from Porch Print Designs. That's a freebie. And then I've scaled the journal pages down to make little tags and tickets. I made a little book out of some scraps, and I've just added some of the digitals in. I'm full of cold again, guys, do excuse me. So yeah, this is already made. These are from the kit as well. I've just backed them and added some different fabrics and things. These just are all completed, but I need to ink around them before I put them in, and I will leave the majority of these plain. And then at the bottom here, this is all the ephemera from my Crystal Witch kit that I've printed on the back. So these are nice and thin, which means once I've put the thicker bits in, I can be adding lots of these. So I thought this Crystal Witch kit matched quite nicely with the Amethyst Witch kit from Natty and Moon. So I decided, let's combine them. I'm just quickly going through some of the bits and pieces so that you can see. And you can tell which is Natty and Moon and which is mine. It's a very different aesthetic, but they match. And then I found this little tiny notepad that somebody had sent me in Happy Mail that I thought might look nice too. So I've got quite a lot already. There's also some big envelopes, but I haven't had a chance to go through those yet. Besides that, let me move this journal out of the way because it's taking up a lot of space. Besides that, I've been doing some collages. So we've got some different things for collage here. There are some plain tags in the Colour Stories kit. So those are there ready to be decorated. There's another, made a couple of pockets with a bit of collage on that we can add some things to. These could be pockets or journal cards. Quite a few of these, and then those. Now, any I don't use can be put in my stash for future. I do want to make some more of these collage tags because I think they will go in a lot of different journals. The purples and things are lovely, and all I need to do is add something to it. So I've already got some like fussy cut bits and bobs to the side of me that I can use. So we're going to make some more of these first. I'm just laying these out so that they're easy for me to get to. I've then got a couple of page tucks, page pockets, full page that we can decorate. I've got an over the page flip, so we can cover this for people to write on and decorate this side. I've got a couple of big pieces that are like whole page pockets, so we'll put a hole in either way to put big things in, big pieces of ephemera, so we can decorate these as well. And then we've got all of the pockets from the kit. Now, bearing in mind, I have printed some of these out a few times, but there's various different pockets and tucks and things that we can also use. So you see something like this, we could add to the front of this one, and we've got different things, you see. So I've got all of these here. So again, this is the Amethyst Witch kit from Natty and Moon, and it is also the Amethyst Colour Stories from Natty and Moon. I will post her Facebook page and her Etsy below. My Crystal Witch kit is on the Etsy also. And these are some freebie pockets that I'll be posting on my Facebook in the next day or so, so do keep an eye out for those. So let's get started. What have I got? I have basically printed some of the Natty and Moon Colour Stories, and I've printed them all onto sticker paper to make an easy collage. So no glues needed, easy peasy. I've also printed a couple of the envelopes on sticker paper because I like the paper, so we're going to use those up for various things. And then I've got some other, this is from the kit and this is from the kit. This isn't from the kit, this is one of mine. And we've got some purple canvasy stuff that we can cut up as well to add, if we so choose. And I've also got a little bit of this left over, which was from the cover. So I might as well trim these now while I think about it. I hope you're all doing well. I've had a bit of a busy time here with one thing and another. So I haven't been filming as much as I would have liked, but these things happen. I'm just cutting the white edge off. That'll make it a little bit easier. There we go. I've also got some coffee dyed paper. This is from Luise Heinzel from YouTube. She's got an Etsy as well, so I'll link that below. And I've printed these on sticker paper, so it's easy to back things if I want to back them. Because essentially, when I do things like this, I tend to use file folder. Because this is a nice weight. And I will cut the scored parts off. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just makes it easier. And we'll cover this side, and then we can come along and decide what we want where. So you can come along with me today and collage with me. This will probably end up being 2 or 3 videos in the end. And again, anything I don't use, I can put in my stash and use for something else. I use a lot of purples anyway, so anything purple works well. I'm not being particularly picky. I'm just mixing and matching things up. And you can see how quickly this is coming together, guys. That's why I really enjoy doing the sticker paper. And it's a good way of using up scraps and things. If you're printing onto sticker paper, any scraps you've got left over, you can very quickly and easily use them. And I've got some leftover, I've got some leftover envelope up here that I used on a previous one. So we're going to add some of that as well. So you can see here, leftover envelope, and I just stuck it to the side of my desk. It's going to hang over, that's fine, doesn't bother me. Because by the time we've gone round and cut it all anyway, it will all be different. Nice and simple and easy for me to do. So I planned on doing this video first thing this morning. However, I then got a phone call, well, a text message from the school to say that there'd been a power cut and they've got no internet, so they can't teach the children. So I had to go and pick the oldest witchling up. Let's add a bit more of this. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm going to have things going in different directions. Let's put this one up here. Now some bits I know I'm not going to use, so I'm likely not going to use this tab part at the top, so I won't bother decorating that. to that, she says, and then it doesn't want to peel. So this you can find on Amazon. I do this quite a lot, as opposed to using coffee dyed paper and things when I really can't be bothered to coffee dye. I'll print coffee dye onto sticker paper and pack it that way. Doesn't bother me if things are sideways. I do, however, want them relatively straight. Let's go with this big one. There we are, so we'll move all of this back out the way. Get my paper trimmer back out. What I will do actually is just cut these bigger pieces off because I can probably use them elsewhere. Stick those up there. There we go. Right, let's go for three-inch tags widthwise. And then one slightly slimmer. These are at random, guys. And I will cut them into tag shapes shortly. There we go, nice and easy. Nice long tag. Corner. Corner. Easy peasy. And there we've got a nice collage tag. Now that can stay as it is because it's so pretty with all the images on, or we can add something to it. So I've got different images. This is obviously a bit big, but different images that we can add if we want to. Oh, this one's a little bit more boring, isn't it? So we would definitely want to add something to this. Line my corners up. Another one. this one. Let's go that way. Might leave that one to make a journal card. This one we want that way up. I do a long corner because it's taller. Right way up, that way. Go, and then this one I'll make into a little journal card. Easy peasy. All right, so now we've got lots of things to decorate, and they're all slightly different because these were done at a different time. And we've got lots here now. Yeah. So I'm going to have a quick look at these and decide if there's any I like just as they are and feel I don't need to add a focal point, maybe just some ribbon or something. And I'm thinking I really like this one as it is with the numbers. So I will keep that one to one side. And this one I like as it is. So all I'm going to do is ink round them, and then they'll go in the journal as they are, or I'll put something on them. Right, these ones, let's see. I'm not sure I'm going to have any images small enough to go on that little one at the moment. I've got rubbish everywhere. Move all that out of the way. There we go. Right, image-wise, I've got lots of my fuzzy cut things. That I've printed out. I like the bottle better. Got some of these as well from the Crystal Witch kit, just smaller images that I might want to add. And then, as I said, these are some of my digital bits and bobs. They're going to blend in a little bit for now until I've inked around them. Some of these are going to be far too big. So let's go with these, I think, for now, at the moment. So the easiest ones to do are going to be the ones that don't require anything but inking. So it's sort of a mass make today. So that one's going to go there. I do this quite often, guys, mixing and matching kits. I don't know if any of you do, but because I like to make big chunky journals, I end up mixing and matching different kits suit my needs. I don't always, obviously, but it's something that I like to do. And I found with a lot of Natty and Moon designs, they can quite easily be added to other kits. So a lot of them correlate or match well with my kits from my shop. So that's worked out quite nicely. Need to worry too much about these ones because there's not really any white showing, but we'll just do the very edges. Oh, excuse me guys, yawning away. Alright, this one I know I need to trim down. This one I need to trim down. There we go. And some of these I may want to put something in the background first, and others I will leave as they are. So for example, this little one I'm just going to leave as it is, nice and simple. Bit of art glitter glue, simple tag. Okay, this one same, I'm just going to stick these on as they are. Here we go, decided to block. This one I'll leave as it is. Here we are. My light's a little bit off today, guys, because it's gone a bit dark outside, so I've had to bring in an extra lamp to my table. Let's put that down this side. Just for a bit of something different. So one like this I would definitely want to add something to this one. She says, wrecking the joint. I've got all sorts of bits and bobs in here. So let's cut a bit of this off. Oh. pull too tight. There we go. And then, as I said, all I would do to finish off is just ink around the edge, and I'm using this archival Dusty Concord for inking. But this is a permanent ink, so just be mindful. Okay, nice and easy. I like that as it is. You could add some gems or crystals. You could add a butterfly or something up here. I'm happy with that as it is because we've got a fair amount of interest in the background. Right, let's have a look at this one. I would like something in the back of this. Maybe, she says, reach in. I've got like a stack of doilies in my paper organiser next to my desk. Something else back there. I've got some different fabrics and things we can always add. Maybe a piece of that then. Let's go this way. And a lot of these fabrics are offcuts that people have sent me in Happy Mails. Let's go with that. I'll just use the art glitter glue for now. It doesn't want to cooperate, and if I have any issues I can always get my Fabri-Tac out. I'm not bothered about it being perfect. Stomach's going. Going to hold that down for a second. Put my lid back in. Hand-eye coordination would be helpful, thank you. There we go. Again, I'm going to want to put a hole in here. Wrong side. Let's use another bit of this. She says which way. So it's only going to be a little one, but that's okay. Push that through. Here's the tricky part. There we go, and that just finishes it off nicely. I can put a label up there if I want to. I haven't printed out any extra labels yet, so we'll see if I can find anything else. But for now, I'm quite happy with that as it is. This one needs a bit more trimming. Must have been right on the edge, that one. Something like that. Like that there. I'm just going to glue that tiny bit down. I tend to not go too mad, because by the time I put the journal together, stuff ends up going all over the shop, so it's just easier. Blocked again. It's just easier to start with a little bit of glue and add more glue if you need it. Lovely jubbly, happy with that one as it is. This one I'm just going to add to the bottom, and then I need to find something to go at the top there. Just to add a bit of interest, I think. It's too bright. Maybe an extra bit of writing or something. No, I'm going to put a hole in that one. And then again later, if I find some labels I want to use, I can. Oh, taking it with me. Nice longer one on that one. Yeah, I think what I'm going to end up doing is trying to find some labels. I know I've got some somewhere, so I can come back and add those later on if I want to. This one again is going to be the same as the last one. Why are you not cooperating today? Having none of it. I'm going to put something behind her. I was. Let's just stick that down while the glue's cooperating. That bit sticking off the edge. Some of this dyed lace. I'm just going to cut the centre section off, and we can use that in one. It is a bit tricky when they're shorter, but for a lot of them I really don't like them to have too much at the top. Now I could strengthen these with eyelets or hole reinforcers if I want to, but I'm quite happy with that. Okay, and then again it's going to need a label or something eventually. Some of this tulle with, is it called tulle? I never know what it's called. with some tiny sequins stitched into it. And there's that one. Okay. Let's have a look at these 3 pockets that I wanted to find an image to go on. No, don't like those. Don't like those. Let's go with that one. Am I going to add anything to this one? Yes. So I don't know what the weather's been like by you guys, but by me it's been super stormy and wet. I've had lots of floods and issues with flooding. It's been, to be perfectly honest, an absolute nightmare, because where I live it floods quite a bit. And it also means if it floods I get trapped where I live, so that has not been ideal, to say the least. So that's that one. This one I like as it is. And you'll notice I'm not really inking around these ones. I don't feel the need. I like that as it is. This one I think is nice as it is, but I am going to give it an ink. Now, this purple is quite a dark purple, so I'm not going too heavy-handed. I don't want it to overpower. Just at the side there. There we are. So now we've got 3 nice pockets. I might as well give it a bit of ink. Roll on the springtime. I noticed that Margaret over at 7 Plaza has brought out a new spring digital kit. So I'm looking forward to getting that in the next few days. Maybe give that a try. Right, let's leave the journal cards for a minute because I wanted to work on this. So if that's going over the page, yeah. So what I wanted to do is use, it's definitely that side. I wanted to use some of this to cover the inside so that it can be written on. Peel. There we go. And then generally what I do is I will unfold it like that, line up where I want it to go. Now I know with this one, I do not want it to go over where I've cut. So I'm just cutting that there, fold that back. Not overly bothered if it's straight because I'm going to put something decorative on there anyway. Let's cut that right the way across. And then because this is quite thick cardstock, I can see roughly where the line is, so I'm just going to cut up that. So I've got a nice strip still that I can use. That's rubbish. And then I can tidy this up. Like so. Bend that back. I want to, one thing. I want to round these two corners. So essentially, this is going to say this was our page here. I want it to go over the top of the page like that. Yeah, so then this can be clipped in or however we want it to go. I do, however, want this to be an up tuck. So I want to put some lace or something along there. Some of this that somebody sent me that I think would look nice. Rough trim. I'm just going to get a little bit of my new bottle now as well, guys, you'll notice. I'll put that over like that. I haven't quite cut that. On that side. Appalling scissor skills today. Okay, so this side will be stuck down. This side and this side, and we'll be able to tuck something up in there so I can decorate this. And then on this side, this is a flip. So we can decorate this side, flip this up, and we can write on this side. So I'm going to ink all around this. And around this side. On the fold. I'm just going to put a little bit along that edge. There we go. So this side I want a little bit of decoration, so I'm going to use some of my sticky back paper just to put a little bit of interest on here. I'm going to cut that up. A bit more. Straight would have been nice, preferably. Seriously, the worst cutter in the world. There and there, and then I think I would quite like a bit of this that was left over. Just on that bit. And then maybe something like this. Or just plain as it is. It's pretty as it is. Yeah. So then this side, what do we want to do? Move some of these bits out of the way. Let me just see what time we've got left. We've only got about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, so let's have a little think. I've got some of this paper that I would have liked to have used. Maybe we could turn that into a couple of pockets for on here, or a big pocket here that we can slide something into. Sounds good to me. This up. Roughly. There. Maybe to there. These bottom ones rounded. Like this, you see. We need a me do that. Think this around just in case I haven't got it completely right. Sorry if my head gets in the way. Too big. This is the problem now. I'm going to have to look at getting some of these printed a bit smaller. let's go with that, but let's make it a little tuck. Like that. So there we go, nice and simple. So I'll show you. This will be glued down so that this is an up tuck. Turn the page over. This is a flip, so let's find... So we've got tag, yeah. And we've got our little what's it on there, just as an example. We can then flip this up in our journal. That will be glued down so it won't be moving. And we've got all this extra space for writing. Okay, so I think that will do for today. In the next video, we'll continue on. I'm not going to touch anything else bar printing out some smaller versions, I think, of those images, because they're a little bit big for what I need to do and use. So we've still got all of these left to decorate. We've got all of the journal cards. We've got 2 of the big page things. We've got 2 big pockets. There's a completely plain card there. We've got plenty we can be getting on with. All right. So I will see you in the next video. Blessings.